Hello everyone, it's Vandiril here, and today we're gonna talk about the problems that I have with the League of Legends client. Since recently I've become a League of Legends partner, this is not a hateful video, we're friends with Riot Games now, so we're good. So this is gonna be a friendly video. So the issue number one for me is logging out. Even after all these years, you still cannot log out of the game and log in onto your other account. If you, for example, have few accounts on the same server or different server, you still have to close the entire client and you just cannot simply log out. I know most of you probably got used to that, but I personally don't know any other game that has the similar issue. So it would be nice to have the logout option and then be able to log in without exiting the entire client. Number two. So this is probably one of the most important things on the list, and those are the problems with champion select. So sometimes when you get into the champ select, you can either get absolutely full black screen, so you cannot see anything, therefore you are later on forced to dodge. The other option is that you cannot pick or lock in any champion, so therefore you are also forced to dodge because of that. Because you can see everyone picking, you can see everything going on, but you are unable to pick or click anything. And the other option is that you, for example, pick the champion, but it turns out you actually picked another champion. I've heard about it happening at least few times from different people, so sometimes you will also be stuck in a different phase of the champ select that you actually are in. So for example, technically you should be in the pick phase, but you are actually still in the ban phase or the other way around. And therefore as a result, usually you are forced to dodge. And the problem with all those champ select issues is that if you are in promotion games, then if you dodge a game like this, it is not your fault, but can happen to you. And it happened to me multiple times. You will actually get a free loss. So I think it should be addressed and it should be fixed. And number three, which is the rune system and the problems that are actually also with champ select. So it happened to me again last time, actually like 2 days ago. I got into the game and all of the custom pages I had for my runes got deleted. Okay, no problem, I'm just gonna make a new page, yes? No, I'm not gonna make one because it's not possible. Oh, you think, why don't you just use the page that you have here, just edit one rune and it's gonna be like a proper page for you? Well, as you can see on the screen right now, no, you cannot. You just simply cannot. You don't have your pages, you cannot create a new page, and you cannot edit the remaining page. It also happened to me before when I was playing ranked games. So this is definitely a problem that's been occurring, and since it happened to me just like 2 days ago, it's definitely not fixed. Okay, so then you may be like this. Oh, if you had a problem in champ select, why don't you just go to like your profile and set your runes there? Well, as you can see on the screen right now, it was also impossible for me to do that. It was simply not doable. So I really think this issue should be fixed because I think it can impact the games negatively. But there is also the other problem that I have with the rune system, is that the way the secondary tree works. So when you have two runes and you want to change one of the runes, it's not necessarily gonna change the rune you clicked on, it's gonna change the rune that was previously changed. So for example, I want to change this rune. No, it's gonna change the other rune I didn't click on because it's changing the not most recent one. So it's changing the older one. So instead of just changing the rune you click on, it's changing the other one. It's extremely frustrating, and it happened to me at least 50 or 100 times or even more. And it's been really stupid. So I hope that's gonna be fixed. Another problem can be the lobby issues, although this is necessarily not a new thing. So for example, you can see a screenshot here of my friend Nightwind in the 3v3 mode, but somehow 4 people are there. But here you have also the screenshot of the same thing happening on the old clients. But I guess that's on the bright side because this bug was happening before and it's still there. So I guess that's acceptable. The other problem with lobby is that you cannot check the profile of people anymore. That used to be possible, so it is also a little bit of a problem. Problem I personally have is that the invite groups are sorted differently than on my friends list. So on the right side of the screen you can see my friends list. At the top I have the groups for members, YouTubers, and people that help me the most. And when I go to the invite button, for whatever reason the people from the general group are on the top. Everything is sorted differently than it should be sorted because I sorted it that way. I don't really see a point for that, because to invite the people I usually invite, I need to scroll all the way down, and that absolutely makes no sense. So there are also many problems with custom games. As I already said, you cannot check the profile of people. Sometimes people join but won't have access to the chat. It's actually not sometimes, it happens a lot. You invite people but they don't have the access to the chat. And also the ranks aren't necessarily shown as they should be, because sometimes it's gonna show you a rank from pre-made games, from ranked flags, sometimes from solo queue, and it's not always displaying all the same rank for all the people. It's really confusing and weird in there. So also what's worth noting with the new client is that you cannot really see the win-lose ratio for people. I mean, you cannot see how many wins they have for normals. And the problem with that is that even if you go to people's profile, you cannot see that, which is a huge downgrade, considering that even in 2010 with this client, you could see how many games people played and how many games they played with top 3 of their champions. So you could see their top 3 most played champion in normal games, with their KDA and with their win and loss ratio. I thought that was really cool, and that's when I had friends before, I was just checking their profile and that's what I was looking at. And currently, what stats do we have? Well, the stats page that we have now instead, like, how many of you have ever used that? I clicked on it today and I couldn't really make any use of that. I don't think the stats page is very valuable in the current form. So this was kind of the point 6.5 maybe with the stats thing. The 7 point is that everything is just so slow about this client. The amount of time it often takes to go from the victory screen to the post-game screen can take up to 30 seconds, and for some people I've heard it can even take few minutes, or some people have to restart everything. The amount of time it took me to load this stats page is like 15 seconds. The amount of time it can take to load the store or load the loot page or load someone's profile, it just really takes a lot of time and everything seems to be so slow. And finally, the issue number 8, I would say for me, is the replay system that goes with the client. So let's imagine you play the game 1 hour before a patch, then you just patch the game because you had it open. Too bad, you cannot get the replay anymore because it was recorded on a different patch version. So even back in the time we had the third-party software that used to have the backwards compatibility. So imagine you had a report, for example, from 2013, you could still open that in 2015. But yet, Riot is unable to do that even just for 1 or 2 patches forward. So if you play the game and then the next day you wanted to check the replay but you haven't downloaded that, well, too bad for you. Or if you patched the game but you downloaded the replay, you still cannot open that because it's from a different version. This is the reason that I store probably around 15 League of Legends folders right now, because it doesn't seem like you can just store few files. And I'm probably storing around 200 gigabytes of League of Legends folders. I don't really think it's the best way to go, and I hope maybe in the future Riot will be able to create something better. But as I said, I would take this video more like a constructive criticism, and this is the issues I have with the client. Maybe some of you don't care about this, or maybe some of you have different problems with the client. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think are the biggest problems with League of Legends client? I'm really looking forward to your comments, guys. So, thank you guys a lot for watching, take care, and have a good day.